preparing for live stream, and now we are live sa aking YouTube channel. And isend na lang po na ko diretso ang link no sa YouTube sa ato ang group chat para ma-save na ninyo. Okay, so this evening we are going to tackle about, we're going to continue discussing about logic. So yesterday we had discussed no about the four statements: the conjunction, disjunction, the conditional and biconditional statements. And I had presented also the truth table per conjunction. So as you can see sa akong gi-share na slide karon, this is the truth value of this junction. So yeah, let's have a recap or review before we will proceed to our discussion proper this evening. So as you can see, sa disjunction na truth value, okay, sa disjunction, conjunction dapat yung una. Sorry, this one. Yeah, conjunction. Yeah. Let's start with the conjunction first. As you can see, the conjunction P and Q is true if and only if both P and Q are true. So that means matrue lang yung whole statement mo if if the P is true and Q is true. Pag conjunction. If di isa sa kanila is merong false, automatically the whole statement is false. And I had presented or I had given you also the example of conjunction, which is math related yung example kagabi. The next statement, we have disjunction. The connective used for disjunction is or, and the symbol being used is letter V. So, V. Sorry, B. And take note, in the disjunction, maging true yung statement if and only if may mag-exist no sa dalawang statement mo na P and Q, kahit may isang true dyan sa kanilang dalawa, automatically the whole statement is true. Magiging false lang siya if both P and Q are false. Again, sa truth value of disjunction, maging false lang siya if both P and Q are false. If di isa sa kanila merong true, automatically the whole statement becomes true. Disjunction is just the opposite of the conjunction. Try to observe the table of the conjunction at saka disjunction. Di ba? Baliktad lang sila, kabaliktaran. Next, we have the conditional. So it was stated here, no, according to the table, the truth value table of the conditional, maging false lang siya if the P is true, then Q is false. Again, maging false yung conditional truth value mo if the P is true and Q is false. However, pag both P and Q are false, the whole statement becomes true. That's according to the truth table of the conditional. And nagbigay rin ako ng example kahapon. The last statement we have here is the biconditional. And as you can see, no, maging true lang yung statement mo, the whole statement becomes true if both P and Q are true or both P and Q are false. Dapat, kung ang P is true, dapat Q is true. Parang true yung whole statement. Same goes with the false. Kung false ang P, false po dapat ang Q para the whole statement becomes true. And as you can see also, if yung P is true, yung Q is false, the whole statement becomes false. Wait lang. Anyways, now let's proceed. Let's proceed to our discussion proper. So the learning objective this evening, at the end of the lesson, you will be able to construct a table, no, given a compound statement, no, gaya nito, and also determine the truth value of that given. And also, another learning objective this evening, you will be able to determine whether the two statements are equivalent or not, and whether the given statement also is a self-contradiction or tautology. So yan yung learning objective natin this evening. So sir, paano man ito i-solve, sir? Itong practice test natin. Yung construct a table for this one. And we are going to determine the truth value if P is true and Q is false. So, by the way, punta tayo sa Microsoft Word. Yes, punta tayo sa Microsoft Word para easy ko na lang encode. And I will be presenting my solution there. And i-save na ko siya, no? Yung Microsoft Word para naamoy copy. Okay, wait for a while. Mag-Microsoft Word sa ako. Wait lang sa oh my God, nag-lag ako Word. Okay, I have now the table. Please Microsoft Word. Please inform me if dili maklaro. Maklaro ba siya? Zoom lang ako. Okay na, makita ninyo, no? Sige, thank you for the confirmation. Now, the first step, kasi you are going to construct a table, no? Construct a table ito para masagutan mo itong follow-up question. Again ha, in order for you to answer the question, you need to construct the table of the given statement first. Kasi kailangan mo, no, if given daw ang P is true, then yung given yung P mo is true, ito, and your Q is false, what will be the truth value for that? So, gagawa ka muna ng table. Now, there are two variables involved. That means there are two statements involved, no? P and Q. Again, there are two statements. We have P and Q. Sir, paano namin ito ma-identify na ganito siya? Again, paano niyo ito magagawa ito? Plus, this is the basis already, no? Ito yung present ko kahapon na pag P, ito yung format. Pag Q, ito yung format. Pag silang dalawa lang yung given. Again ha, pag sila lang yung dalawa ang given, ito yung itsura ng table. Pag silang dalawa. Kasi pag tatlo, maging iba na. Again, pag tatlo na yung given, maging iba ang itsura. So, this is already fixed, no? Again, this is already fixed. This is based on the book from Boolean algebra. Okay, so galing ito sa Boolean algebra na basis. So, constant na siya, fixed na siya. And again, if dalawang variable lang yung given, ito yung format. Format kumbaga. Kasi pagdating natin sa three variables, change yung format. And later, I will be presenting an example to that. Now, I want to ask you first, sino ang una nating i-solve? Based on this given, sino yung una nating i-manipulate? Okay, very good, Shen, no? That's correct, Shen. Sabi ni Shen, it's the negation of P. Shen, paano mo nasabi? Paano mo nasabi na negation of P yung una nating kunin? Una nating i-manipulate? Shen?
Yes, sir. Because hindi po yung P ang ginamit. It's negation of P.
Okay, that's correct. No? As you can see, class, based on the given, no, given symbolic form of the given statement, wala kayong makita na P. The given is negation of P. So we need to convert, first our P into its negation. And yes, tinuruan ko na kayo kahapon about transforming the given statement into its negation. And when we say transform it into its negation, kumbaga pakabaliktaran lang niya. So, kailangan natin we will focus on the P. By the way, class, I have this technique, di ba, yung tabon-tabon. Tabon na natin yung Q para hindi kayo malito, tabon natin yung Q para ma-focus lang tayo sa P. Sige. So, this is the P. These are your of the P. If the negation of P, ang yung hahanapin natin, itong true magiging false, itong true magiging false, itong false magiging true, itong false magiging true. That's the negation of P. Okay, so yan. Diba easy lang? Easy lang. Now, after ng negation of P, sino yung next natin na i-manipulate? Sino yung next natin na isa-solve, kumbaga pa, or i-manipulate? We have the, okay, that's correct. Yung naka-parentheses, di ba? I had discussed yesterday, about the grouping variable. So, kailangan natin i-solve muna yung grouping variable. Again, i-solve muna natin yung grouping variable first. And as you can see, the grouping variable here is ito. This is the grouping variable. It's the negation of P. Wait, nakuha sa BO. Wait, tanda ko lang kayo. Wait lang, ang pangit. Okay, we are going to find the truth value of this one. So, the truth value of this one. Kailangan natin siya i-solve. So, there are two variables that we need to consider. The negation of P and the Q. Again, para malaman natin ito, para ma-solve natin ito, our focus are the negation of P and Q. So, tabunan natin si P, kaya si appeal. Para hindi kayo malito ha, ganyan. You can have this technique, tabon-tabon, para hindi kayo malito. Again, our focus are the following variables, negation of P and Q. Now, what is the connective used here? The connective used is or. Tama, di ba? This symbol is or. This is disjunction, right? So, I do hope you can still recall the truth table of the disjunction. Again, I do hope you can recall the truth table for this. Sa disjunction. Now, let me ask you if ma-recall ninyo ang truth table. What are the values here? Can you chat your answer? What are the corresponding values here? Sa kaya? Sa rule sa disjunction. Again, sa rule sa disjunction. Okay, that's correct. No, the first row is true. True ito, tama. Sir, bakit true? Okay, recall your truth table sa disjunction. As you can see, true, false. Diba the rule there, as long as meron isang true, automatically, the whole statement becomes true. That's based on the disjunction rule. Next, the second row is false. Very good, that's correct. So, bakit naging false yung second row? It's because, diba, according to the truth table of the disjunction, if both P and Q are false, the whole statement becomes false also. And ito maging true because both statements are true. And lastly, this one is also true. And this is the truth table. Again, this is the truth table of This one. Again, again. True, false, true. Take note, this is disjunction. Dara, disjunction siya. Because of the symbol, the connective being used here is or. False, false, it's false. The disjunction man. True, true, true. And false, true, it's still true. Recall your truth value table. Now, after this one, ano yung next natin na kukunin? Anyone? After this, ano yung next natin na kukunin? Okay, that's correct, no? Ang next natin na kukunin is the negation. The negation of this one. Ito, negation of this. Okay na? Negation of this yung next natin na kukunin. Yan. Yan. We are going to get the negation of this. Ito. Negation of that one. Of course, since kanilang man ang atong focus, ay tabunan nato siya. Tabunan natin yung mga wali appeal. Okay? Para hindi kayo malito, yeah, let's make tabon-tabon, no? So we are going to get the, di ba, this is the negation of this one. The negation lang nito. So of course, maging false ito, maging true ito, maging false ito, maging false ito. That's the negation. Di ba? If you have concern, you can raise right now. Again, if you have concern, you can raise right now. Paano siya nakuha? Okay, now, so nakuha na natin yung negation. Again, nakuha na yung negation natin. Now, let's proceed to the last. Ito na yung last. Okay, para makompleto na siya, yan na yung last natin. Ito. Diba, yan na lang yung kulang natin. So, our focus here, para ma-solve ito, our focus is itong dalawa. Again, our focus is ito. At saka ito. Okay? Itong dalawa yung focus natin para makumpleto yung truth table of this statement. Again ha, ito yung dalawang variables na kakailanganin natin para makumpleto yung truth table niya. So again, the connective use, no? I-combine daw ni Munisa, no? I-combine daw, and the connective use is or, and that is still disjunction. Again, the connective use is or. V man na siya, diba? It's disjunction. Now, I want you to check your answer. What could be the possible values here? Again, kindly check your answer. What could be the possible values in this table? Yeah. Okay, very good, no? Okay, thank you for your cooperation. Yeah. Class, kailangan ninyo mag-chat para makatuon mo. Para ma-practice mo. Okay, let's answer. Sorry for your delay, no? Kay nagtapok ang mga sakyanan sa nag-jingle, no? Saba na kayo. Anyways, sige, let's try. Recall ha, let me share to you again the PowerPoint na lang. Let me share to you again the PowerPoint of the rule in disjunction. Ayan. Diba? This is the truth table, truth value table for the disjunction. Yan. True, 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 false, true, false, true, true, false, false, false. So let's proceed, no? Sa ating example, ito. True, false. The answer, disjunction na true, false is very good, true. False, true. The answer is true pa din. That's correct. That's correct. True pa din. Next, for a true, false, true pa din. And lastly, false, false. What could be the value pag disjunction? Very good. It's false. And yan, nakompleto na. Pwede na natin i-delete itong yung technique natin, no, yung itamon-tabon ko. We can now determine, no, we can now determine the given question. Okay, kompleto naman. So let's answer this one. Use the truth table from part A ito to determine the truth value of this one, given that P is true, true daw, and Q is false. So what could be the answer for this one daw? Ito. Given P is true and Q is false, what could be the truth value? So kani ang yung ginamin, di ba? Kana ito siya ang ginamin mo, yan. Given daw yung P mo is true and at saka yung Q mo is false, what could be the truth value? So, i-highlight na ko na siyang part, the row. I-highlight na ko. Diba? Tara ang answer. Nasa last part ito. This is the answer. That means the truth value is true. Again, the truth value is true. So class, it is very difficult to say, no, na the truth value of this one, pag ito yung condition, is false or true. Because again, you need to create a table first. Kailangan niyo munang gagawa ng table para malaman ninyo ang sagot, the truth value of the given condition. Again, gagawa muna kayo ng table para malaman niyo ang answer. Okay, my God, true or false lang siya. Duwara sila ang possible answer, true or false. Mora ni true or false na laban. Again, mora ni true or false na medyo stressful, no? Kailangan pa mabubuhat ng table. Question before we will proceed to our next example. Okay, I think wala question. Now, let's proceed to another example. Para pa-practice mo, no? Again, let's proceed to our next example para ma-practice kayo. This one. Ito yung next example natin. How many variables or statements do we have? Ilan sila? How many variables or statements do we have? Ilang class? Bilang variable or statements na natin? We have tatlo, sir. Yeah, very good. Tatlo. They're free. Sir, paano natin malalaman na tatlo sila? Tatlo madra. P, Q, R. Diba? PQR, tatlo sila. So, if there are 3 variables involved, that means there are 3 statements. No? Again, if there are 3 variables involved, there are 3 statements also. The variables involved here, we have P, Q, and R. That means there are 3 statements, P, Q, and R. So, based on our given example kanina, P and Q lang yun, no? Again, have P and Q. And, diba? Pag P and Q, ito yung ipa-follow natin. P and Q, ito yung format, kumbaga. Pag P and Q. Sir, pag P, Q, and R, pag tatlo na yung variable, change ba ang format ng table? Yes, that's correct. Change ang format ng table pag tatlo na yung variable ninyo. How much more pag apat? Mas mahirap pag apat ang variable. Kaya nga, you don't need to worry, no? Because in your exam at saka in your activity, pati rin sa quiz, tatlong variable lang yung ibibigay ko para hindi na kayo mahihirapan pa. Hanggang tatlong variables lang tayo. But if you want to explore more, yes, you can have 4 variables. Pero taas na kayo ang table basta 4 variables. So again, I limit our examples only by 3 variables para di na mo ma-stress. Sige, let's solve this one, no? Yung gipakita ko na example, ito. Let's solve this one. And what will be the truth value of this one? If P is true, Q is true, and R is false. Okay? I-transfer ko na siya sa Microsoft Word and we have here. Class, this is already fixed and this is already constant. That is according to the Boolean algebra. So if ever tatlo yung variable ninyo, ito yung ipa-follow ninyo na truth table. Again, if ito yung truth, if tatlo yung variable ninyo, ito yung pattern. Ito yung dapat ninyo i-consider. Kung true, apat na, ay kung P, apat na true, apat na false. Pag Q kay T, T, F, F, T, T, F, F. Pag R, alternate, T, F, T, F, T, F, T, F. So again, given na ni siya ha, I mean, this is already fixed, no? So you are going to, ano lang this one, take a picture of this one or save this one, no? Especially in your quiz and activity, in ani dapat inyong i-follow na format. Now, since I already gave you a clue on how to determine the truth value of this one, again, di ba nag-solve na tayo sa ating first example. So for this example, I want you to complete this table. Again, I want you to complete this table. But before that, let me give you a clue first. Sino yung, ano natin, una nating i-manipulate? Again, sino yung una nating i-manipulate? Anyone? Okay, very good. You can have the negation of R first, no? Again, you can have the negation of R first para tuloy-tuloy ang process. Again, ha? You can have the negation of R first para tuloy-tuloy yung process natin. So, class, I will give you this one as your seat work. Try to solve this one. Try to complete everything. Try to complete the table para ma-practice mo. Okay, so I think I will give you 5 minutes, no? I will give you 5 minutes to complete this table and you can apply the strategy or technique yung tabon-tabon. Sige, I will give you 5 minutes and 5 minutes starts Yes, yes, Razel, you can, ano, no, you can write your solution in any paper will do. I-save lang na imong answer para kay ano ka na, exam. Sige, let's solve, no? Para, I will explain also. I will explain. And ako explain, no? Let's start. So, the first step, no, na gagawin natin is the negation of R. We are going to solve for the negation of R, no, first. And, yeah, you can have my strategy, yung tabon-tabon. Kaya ato tambunan ang POQ. Wala may appeal si POQ. Pero tambunan nato ang mga wala appeal. So, yun. Yan. So, we will focus on the R. So, we have here, ako lang i-zoom gamay, no? Ako i-zoom para mas clear siya. Yan. So, negation of R, kung true ito, it becomes false. Kung false yan, it becomes true. Kung true ito, it becomes false. Then, true, then false, true, false, true. Diba? Nakuha na parehas bata class, parehas ta og ano sa negation of R. If you have complaint or concern, you can raise right now. I am very open to any form of correction at saka comments. Kung mali, kuhain na lang kung ako yung na mali. Sulat. So we're done with the negation of R. Sir, what's the next? Again, what's the next? The next is, sir, di ba nakaparenthesis ang dalawa? Nakaparenthesis ang dalawa. Actually, depende sa inyo, no? Kung ito yung unang yung isusulat, wala problema. Kung ito yung unang isusulat ninyo, wala problema because they are independent with each other. Again, they are independent with each other, so hindi maka-apekto ang isa sa isa. So, kamo na ang mag-adjust, kamo na ang magpili, kinsa ang mauna. Again ha, kayo na, it's your decision. If ito ba yung una yung i-manipulate or ito ba yung i-manipulate ninyo because again, they are independent to each other, no? Like, hindi sila maka-apekto sa isa. Sige, so we will follow your suggestion. Yes, we will follow your suggestion. We have this one first. Ito yung una natin isi-solve. So it's, ano ito? Class, ano ito in, ano? What statement is this? Is it conjunction or disjunction? It's very good. It's conjunction. The connective being used here is the word and that is, diba, the opposite of the symbol V. That's and. That's the connective of the conjunction. Sige, let's determine this one, the truth table of P and Q. So let's make tabon-tabon. So tabunan natin yung R at saka negation of R. Kaya wala man sila pulos to identify this one. Again na, we will focus on the given two variables. We have P and Q. And the given is the conjunction, no? It's P and Q. I do hope you can still recall the truth table for conjunction. Sige daw, ano yung truth value ng conjunction? Kailan ba magto-true pag conjunction? Again, kailan nga ba magto-true pag conjunction? Anyone can check your answer? Okay, very good. No, that's correct. Mag-true lang ang conjunction if both the variables are true. Again, mag-true ang conjunction, the whole statement becomes true if both P and Q are true or if the given both variables are true. That's correct. So in this problem, in this table, to complete this one, P and Q are true. That means this one is also true. P and Q are true. This one is true also. Now, true, false, hindi na. False na siya diretso. True, false, false then. False, true. False then. False, true. False then. And itong dalawang false, automatically it's false diretso. And that is the truth table, no, of P and Q in this situation. So I do hope naka-follow, no? Again, I do hope naka-follow. If you have comments with this one or concern, you can raise right now. Next, let's proceed to this one. Again ha, sir, ngayon, paano mo nasabi, sir, na independent sila? It's because, class, di ba, di yan maka-apekto? Hindi ito maka-apekto dito, di ba? Wala lang. Again, they're indifferent with each other, so hindi siya maka-apekto. Sige, so our focus for this one is the variables negation of R and Q. Dalawang variables din yung given dito. Again, we are going to focus the negation of R and Q. So, let's make tabon-tabon. Okay, tabunan nato ni siya. Next, tabunan nato ning P. Okay, para ano mang good class because no, daghan na kay mga true false, no? Baka mag-lead sa into confusion ba if napamulaan nga makita nga mga values. Kaya nga it would be better to make tabon-tabon, no? Para para mag-guide jud kayo, ma-focus lang gani siya. Ma-focus lang jud siya sa duha nga variable. This one. Okay? So, fixed na. The given variables are negation of R and Q. So, we are going to determine the truth value of this one. And this statement is a conjunction, right? This statement is a conjunction because in the first place, the connective being used is or. It's a symbol V. Again, na, it's the symbol V, no, ang ginamit na connective. It's or. So, anyone, kailan ba, ano ba yung truth table ng disjunction? Kailan nga ba magfo-false pag disjunction? Kailan magfo-false pag disjunction? Okay, very good. At least no, you have the idea already. Magfo-false lang siya pag disjunction if and only if both variables are false. Again, if both variables are false, the whole statement becomes false. Okay? So, sir, pag true, sir, wala yung problema sa true. If if merong isa sa kanila na true, automatically the whole statement becomes true. Again na, sa disjunction, if ni isa sa kanila merong true, automatically the whole statement becomes true. Now, let's solve this table. Our Q is true, our F is true, this is true. Next, true ito. False. It's false. False, true. False. True, right? Sorry, true, right? True. True, false, true. True. False, true. So yan, kompleto na. Again, kompleto na. Okay, now let's proceed to the final part. Okay, this final part, no, this will help us or this will guide us to determine the given question. Okay, para malaman natin yung sagot diretso. So for the final part, this is the combination of this one. Okay, again, this is the combination of this one, no? And let's make a tabon-tabon. Ito yung focus. Again, for the final part, ito yung focus natin. It's silang dalawa lang. Again, na silang dalawa yung focus natin. And the connective being used is inverted V. It's and. Di ba? The connective being used is inverted V. It's and. I do hope ma-recall pa ninyo ang lesson sa, ma-recall ninyo ang truth table rather sa conjunction. So this one, I want you to complete this table. Again, I want you to complete this table. Kindly chat your answer. Again, complete this table and kindly chat your answer. Okay. Okay, that's correct. No, very good. Thank you for your cooperation. Take note, this is conjunction. The rule in conjunction is that maging true lang siya if both statements are true. Again ha, maging true lang siya if both statements are true. So if di isa sa kanila merong false, automatically the whole statement becomes false. So this is true, true, false, 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 false. And by that, kumpleto na yung table natin. Again, and by that, kumpleto ng table natin. Now, let's answer this. Karoon pa na ako na-realize na na-answer. Ang bobo ko. Karoon pa na ako na-realize na na-diri ang answer, oh. Oh my God. Sige. Okay? Now, to answer the given question here, again, to answer, yes, sige, to answer, given that P is true, dara, true, Q is true, dara, R is false, dara. Ito yung question natin. What will be the truth value? Again, what will be the truth value if ito? True, true, false. That means, nasa last part, nasa last column, the answer is very good. It's true. Again, the answer is true. That's correct. Very good. That's correct. Okay, sige. Let's proceed to the second to the last part of our lesson. Apa di ay, sir? Oo. Wait, may klase after 7? Naamo ang klase wala?
None, sir.
Okay. I think okay lang ba nga mag-extend to? Sorry, Ju kayo. Yeah, I understand. Mali na ako, no? Nakalimot dyan yung class. Sige, i-continue lang nato na, i-finish lang nato ang lesson about logic. Again, i-finish lang nato ang lesson about logic and na. Para next meeting, mag-linear programming na to diretso. Again, para next meeting, linear programming na to. Sige, let's continue. This will be the last part of our lesson. Okay, let's proceed to the quantifiers and negation. No? Again, let's proceed to the quantifiers and negation. So existential quantifiers are used as prefixes to assert the existence of something. Okay, the existence of something. So the words, no, na being used for existential quantifiers, we have some, there exists, at saka at least one. Again, some, there exists, at saka at least one. These are the words, no, para malaman natin na existential quantifiers siya. Meanwhile, universal quantifiers are the following: none, no, all, at saka every. Again, none, no, all, at saka every. So these are the existential quantifiers. Next, the universal quantifiers, none at saka no, deny the existence of something. Of course naman, from the word itself, none, no, wala, jud, as in wala. Meanwhile, si all at saka si every, it's, di ba, asserting the existence of something. Like, yeah, the element of a given set satisfies some condition. Pasabot na jud. Eh naa, all, every. So let's have this table, no? Let's have this table. This is the statement and this is the negation. Again, this is the statement and this is the negation. So pag yung statement mo is all x are y, the negation is some x are not y. Kung no naman, no x are y, some x are y. So class, let me summarize this table for you, no? For you to understand this one in an easier manner. Pag yung statement mo is all or every, again ha, pag yung statement mo is all or every, the equivalent negation for this one is some not. Some not. Again ha, some not yung equivalent negation niya. Pero pag yung statement mo is no or none, the equivalent negation niya is some lang. Same with some not. Pag yung statement mo contains some not, the negation should be all or every. Again, all or every. Pag yung statement mo is some, the negation is no or none. Just like on our given example here, no, sa table, all x are y. So all. So the negation is some not. Some x are not y. Same with the no x are y. So no. No x are y, the negation is some x are y. Dito, some x are not. So some not siya. Again, some x are not y, so some not. So you can have the negation of all x are y. And lastly, some x are y. So you have the negation of no x are y. So to further understand this topic, let me present to you an example. Again, to further understand this topic, let me present an example. Kindly answer number one. What will be the negation of that statement? Again, for number one, what will be the negation? Kindly check your answer. Some airports are open. So what will be the negation? Based on the rule I presented kanina. Take note, some has some. Some ha, take note, some ang given. Again ha, some ang given. What could be the negation? Okay, so the answer is some ha. Okay, balikan natin ha. Pag some gani, it's either no or none. Pag some not, all or every. So in this problem, to answer number one, the negation of the statement, some airports are open. The negation is no airports are open. Again, no airports are open or none of the airports are open. Again, now you can have this one. No airports are open or none. None of the airports are open. How about item number two? Again, how about item number two? Kindly check your answer. Okay, very good. Our example number 2 is all movies are worth the price of admission. So the negation is some movies are not worth the price of admission. Again, some movies are worth the price of admission. That's correct. Very good. Very good. And lastly, number 3. Lastly, number 3, what will be the answer? No odd numbers are divisible by 2. Take note, it's a universal quantifier, no. No ang ginamit dito. So what will be the negation? Okay, very good. That's correct. The answer is some odd numbers are divisible by 2. Take note, the universal quantifier given here is the word no. So the equivalent negation is some. That's correct. Okay. Yeah, you can have this example na sa inyo, no? Again, you can have this example sa inyo. Now, let's proceed to equivalent statements. Again, let's have this one, equivalent statements. Kailan nga ba, again, kailan nga ba matatawag na yung dalawang statements are equivalent? So, iba-iba yung given ha, iba-iba yung given. Kailan nga ba matatawag na they are equivalent? From the word itself, equivalent. Ano man ang equivalent? Parehas. Similar. Di ba? So, two statements are equivalent if they both have the same truth value for all possible truth values of their simple statements. Again, if they both have the same truth value for all possible truth values of their simple statements, they are called equivalent statements. Equivalent statements have identical truth values in the final commons of the truth values. The notation is this: P is equivalent to Q, and it is used to indicate the statements P and Q are equivalent. Now, to understand this situation about equivalent statements, let me share to you an example. Punta tayo sa Microsoft Word. Again, punta tayo sa Microsoft Word. Wait lang. Sige, let's have example number 3. I will give you one example only. Again, I will give you one example only. This one. I want you to determine if these two statements have the same truth values. Again, I want you to determine if parehas pa sila ang truth values. If parehas sila, that means they are equivalent. Again, if parehas sila, they are equivalent. So, kamo daw ang mag-solve class. Okay? Kamo daw ang mag-solve. Again, kayo daw ang mag-solve. Tinuruan ko na kayo paano gumawa ng truth table. Okay, tinuruan ko na kayo. So, sige. I want you to complete this one, to solve this one, and kindly chat your answer. Ay, sige, let's solve. So, I have the tables already. So, let's have this one first, itong una. By the way, sino yung mauna natin dito? Sino yung mauna? If ito yung una natin isi-solve, ito yung una. Sino yung una natin i-manipulate? Okay, it's the negation of Q. Again na, ito yung una nating isi-solve, ito siya. So we are going to determine first the negation of Q. So you can apply my technique na tabon-tabon. So let's focus muna kay Q. Again, let's focus muna kay Q. So dara. Di ba napansin ninyo class, there are two variables involved. Again, there are two variables involved. We have the P and the Q. So this is the format. This is the, ito yung i-follow nyo na pattern. This is fixed already. Again, this is fixed already. So let's tabon-tabon, no? This is, the negation of Q is false, true, false. After the negation of Q is yung nasa loob ng parenthesis, yung i-manipulate natin. Again, after the negation of Q, yung nasa loob ng parenthesis ang ating next i-manipulate. The P at saka the negation of Q. Again, the P and saka the negation of Q. Take note, based on the problem ito, based on this situation, the statement is disjunction. And di ba, the disjunction is or, di ba, the connective use is or. The symbol is V. So I do hope you can recall the truth value of the disjunction. Again, the truth value of the disjunction. True, false, this is true. True, true, this is true. False, false is true. Again, false, false is false. Sorry, balik. Again, false, false. False, true is true. Again, false, true is false. Okay, lobat na akong AirPods. Next. Okay, nakompleto na. So karon, to complete the table, ang negation na put ani niya ang atong i-focus. Again, the negation of this one yung focus natin. So the answer is, wait lang, parang may mali. True pala ito, sorry, true. Ako na mali, no? Ako na mali, yeah. Tama ba? Paki-recheck daw ko, paki-recheck ko. Okay, thank you. Ako na mali no, na false na F akong butang. Yeah, ito yung tama ha, ito yung tama. Sige. Now this one, let's continue the negation of this one. Maging false, false, true, false. And that is the truth table of our given first example no ito. That is the truth table now of the given. So after na pud ana, let's proceed to the another. Ito. Another table. Then, let's proceed to this one. Our focus is ito. This is our focus. So, ang una nating hahanapin muna is the negation of, again, yung una nating hahanapin is the negation of the P. Again, negation of the P yung una nating hahanapin. Again, negation of P. So, let's make a tabon-tabon ulit. Tabon na nato ning Q. Kasi P man nato una. So this one, this is false, false, true, true. Again, false, false, true, true. So, after ana, kompleto na. Masolve na nato ni siya. Take note, the given is a disjunction, a conjunction. Again, take note, the given is a conjunction. So, take note ha. Kailan nga ba magto-true ang conjunction? Pag both variables are true. Again, maging True siya pag both statements are true. So, true, false, false. False, false, false. True, true, true. False, true, false. Now, what can you say? What can you infer about the two tables? Tingnan ninyo, parehas ba sila? Parehas ba silang truth values? Okay, that's correct. Parehas silang truth values. Again ha, parehas sila ng truth values. That means they are equivalent. Again, same sila ng truth values. That means they are equivalent. Again ha, same sila ng truth values, so they are equivalent. And that's all about equivalent statements. Sir, what if dili sila parehas? Kasi tawag, malamang not equivalent. Again ha? Again, if hindi sila parehas, malamang ang tawag not equivalent. Lain po. Wala sa laing meaning. Kumbaga. Question about equivalent of the statements before we will proceed to the last part. Okay, question before the last part of our lesson. Napa the last part, sir? Yes, napa the last part class. Ay mo kabala ka after ani wala na. Wala na yung logic na discussion. Okay, wala na. Now let's proceed to the last part of our discussion, the tautology. Again, tautology. So basic lang po ang tautology class, magbuhat gihapon mo table. Okay? Gagawa pa rin kayo ng table. So tautology and self-contradictions are opposite with each other. Again, tautology and self-contradictions are opposite with each other. Tautology ang tawag if a statement is always true. Ang contradiction ang tawag if a statement is always false. Kumbaga pa, if gagawa kayo ng truth table, di ba? Example, apat, di ba yun? Apat na row, di ba yun? Apat na row. Example, ito yung statement natin. Example lang ha. Kung true na tanan ito, they are tautology. Again, kung true na tanan, they are tautology. Same with contradiction. Example lang tayo ha. Kung false na tanan, again, kung false na sila tanan, ang tawag is self-contradiction. Again na, kung true tanan yung truth value niya, ang tawag tautology. Kung false naman lahat ang truth table, ang tawag self-contradiction. So what if hindi? What if hindi? Ano lang? Neither tautology nor self-contradiction. Again, kung wala sa kanilang dalawa, malamang neither. Again ha, pag wala sa kanilang dalawa, neither tautology nor self-contradiction. Sige. To further understand this last topic, let's have our examples. So let's have letter A. You are going to show that this given statement is a tautology. So kailangan natin i-prove. So sir, paano natin masushow ito? Malamang, you need to create a table. Again na, you need to create a table to show that this statement is a tautology. Gagawa tayo ng table. So let's proceed to our let's proceed to our Microsoft Word. Yeah, mapalaban dyan kong Microsoft Word no para diretso. Okay, wait for a while lang, i-transfer sa nako. Class, kunting tiis na lang. This will be the last topic. Sorry jud kaayo if nag-extend ko. Yeah, I admit talaga no nasala jud na ako. Alam ko yung i-report. Chares. It's better to start late no than to wala jud na klase. Wala ko ginapaiguan na ham, pero yeah. Okay, we are going to show that this one is a tautology. So, let me share to you my screen, yung Microsoft Word. Mangawat na lang ko diri og table class para dali na lang kapoy na kayo magbuhat og table, no? Take note, there are two variables involved here. Again, there are two variables involved here, no? Yan. Yan. So, ito pa rin na, this is already fixed, ha? Pag dalawa yung variable, yan talaga yung gagamitin ninyo na pattern. Pag tatlo, I already gave you the three, no? Yan yung ipa-follow ninyo din. Pag tatlo. Ngayon, ang aking tanong, sino yung first natin na ima-manipulate? Again, sino yung first natin na ima-manipulate? The what? It's the negation of P. That's correct, no? Si negation of P, yung una nating i-manipulate. So let's make tabon-tabon na naman. Tabonan natin ng Q kaya wala siya appeal. Now, okay, let's complete. This is now the answer. False, false, true, true. Ano kadali? That's the negation of P already. Again, that's the negation of P already. Next, after this one, we are going to focus yung nasa parenthesis. Diba grouping variable? Diba grouping variable? So, unahin natin yung nasa parenthesis. So, we have this one. Our focus is the negation of P and Q. Again, our focus is the negation of P and Q. So, ito yung focus natin. So, tabunan nato ang P kaya siya appeal. And that is disjunction, right? Disjunction ba ang statement? Yes, disjunction. Tanawa ang symbol na ginamit. It's B. It's disjunction. So, recall the truth table for disjunction. Based on what I have, what I have remembered, rather, maging false ang disjunction na statement pag both statements are false. Again, false yung sole statement if both statements are false. So in this problem, makita man nato, di ba here, no? Makita natin. True, false. The answer is true. False, false. Makita natin, false. True, true. Sagot, true. False, true. The answer is true. Now, to complete our table, let's focus now to the given statement. Ito na yung last. Okay. So our focus is itong dalawa. To determine if that statement is a tautology or not. Yan. That's the focus. And take note that the two statements, the connective use is or. Again, the two statements here, no, the connective use is or. So that is disjunction. Again, disjunction siya. So karon, I want you to chat your answer and the decision. Again, kindly chat your answer and the decision. Okay? That's correct, no? True lahat, di ba? In the disjunction, maging false lang siya if both statements are false. But as you can see here, true, false siya. Napoy true, true. So, TT, the answer is T. Sorry. True yun, ha? Sarap. Sige. True, the answer is true. True, false, the answer is true. False, true, the answer is true. False, true, the answer is true. That means this one is, again, ha? Thus is tautology. Tautology sa class. Tanawa class. All the truth values here are always true. True siya. Again, true siya. Lahat. And that's my solution. Again, that is my solution. And para dili na ta maglangan-langan pa, no? Let's focus to our example number 5. The last example, this one. Again, the last example is this. You are going to show if this statement is self-contradiction ba siya. Kamu daw answer, class. Kamu daw answer. Again, kamu daw answer. Para, ma-practice mo. Sige, kamu ma-solve ha para ma-practice mo. I will give you time for this. Okay, let's solve our last example, no? For us to end this class. So yeah, let's focus on the negation of P. Yeah, let's make tabon-tabon, no? We will focus on the P. Yeah. So this is false, false, true, true. The next is ito. We are going to manipulate yung inside sa parentheses. Again, we are going to manipulate yung inside sa parentheses natin, ito. And that is conjunction. Again ha, conjunction siya. Recall your lesson about the truth values of conjunction. Sa conjunction, true lang siya pag true. Diba? maging true yung whole statement if both variables or statements are true. Then in conjunction, if both statements are true, that means the whole statement is also true. So this one false because may false isa. Pag dalawang false, false. Okay, true, true, it's true. Then false, true, it's false. And lastly, this one, to determine the truth value of this statement. Yeah, we make tabon-tabon of this one, no? Let's focus. And the connective use to combine these statements are and. Diba? It's conjunction. It's a conjunction. Again, the connective use is and. So it's an inverted V na symbol. And please recall your table about the truth values no of the conjunction. And I've mentioned earlier that if both statements are true, that means the whole statement of a conjunction is true also. If merong isa sa kanila false, automatically the whole statement becomes false. So as you can see, true, false, it's false. True, false, it's false. False, true, it's false. And false, false is also false. That means you can say that this statement is a self-contradiction. Again, thus, the given statement is a self-contradiction. It's because the truth value of this statement are always false. Again, the truth value of this statement is always false. False sa lahat o false. Question before we will end. Question before we will end. Wala. I do hope na amoy natunan, no? I do hope na amoy natunan na kung naminaw lang jud mo everything at saka you can perfect my quiz. Yeah. For sure, dahan na perfect sa akong quiz. Yeah, i-send ako akong PPT sa tong group chat. So since wala na may questions, yeah, so katong naka Microsoft Word na akong example, i-chat na nako sa chat box. So ayaw mo ka because i-post na ako, no? And chat na nako, class na chat na nako. And for the PowerPoint, for your references, for your reference, of this lesson, no, about logic. Wait lang, asan man? Or sending na po. And for your final attendance pala, for your closing attendance, again, attendance is part of your grades. Kung ako ang teacher, no, I include this one. I will include this one sa grading system. Okay, for your attendance, closing attendance, kindly click the link na nasa chat box. Again, for your closing attendance, kindly click the link na nasa chat box. If wala na may question, I will end